Mr. Neil Grant, a poet and a traveller, born in Glasgow. His earliest influences was Dr. Seuss, whose poetic vision and imaginative wherewithal has remained with him to this day. He's an explorer and has traveled across various parts of the world, and he's going to talk about it now. Sir? Mr. Amanna, a historian by education, but from an early age he has painted, written poetry, practiced graphic designing, and copywriting. He has co-authored 40 illustrated books on art, history, architecture, corporate biography, photography, 2 of which have won national awards. These are also used as the official gifts of the President and Prime Minister of India. Sir, we are so fortunate to have you amongst us, and could you join them? Ms. Devapriya Roy, the author of 2 novels, The Vague Women's Handbook and The Weight Loss Club. Her 3rd book, The Heat and Dust Project, The Broke Couple's Guide to Bharat, co-written with her husband, Saurabh Jha, is the story of an eccentric journey around India on a very tight budget. Her latest project is Indira, a graphic biography of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi in collaboration with artist Priya Kurian. And I request you, ma'am, to join. Pure Nirantara. We already had her yesterday and it was a wonderful time. She was a moderator then. She's an author, a photographer from Bangkok. She began her career as Thailand's youngest author at the age of 15 with her novel, The Mermaid Apprentices. Since then, she has worked as brand ambassador for the Bangkok Metropolitan UNESCO campaign, Bangkok Read for Life, and has spoken at various platforms to promote literature. Her short story, Fa, was shortlisted for the SEA's ASEAN Young Writers Award. She's the recipient of the Outstanding Youth Award, a judge for the Nielsen Hayes Young Writers Competition, and was added to Thailand's Writers Hall of Fame. My God, it's never ending. Let us just call her to the stage. I take great pride in introducing the moderator for this session, the great Mr. Rajiva Vijayasinghe, a Sri Lankan writer in English distinguished for his political analysis, as well as creative and critical work. An academician, he was the former Secretary General of Sri Lankan Government Secretariat for coordinating the peace process and Secretary to the Minister of Disaster Management and Human Rights. He is currently Chair of the Council of Asian Liberals and Democrats and was re-elected leader of the Liberal Party Sri Lanka on the proposal of previous leader following the Liberal Party Annual Congress of 2011. I guess we need not say anything more. They're way beyond my vocabulary and they're way beyond me. So let us just listen to them and enjoy this session, and I will not waste any more time. Without any further ado, let's begin it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And it's a pleasure to be here as always. We thought we'd do is simply just ask each of our speakers to talk for a couple of minutes to begin with about travel writing, whether they want to talk about why they write, how they write, what they write about, or if they would like to be anecdotal and just give 1 or 2 aspects of what they'd like. Why don't we start? Can we start with you?
I feel like a soldier placing his souls in darkness. It is all light, but I feel it is in darkness. Everything is in darkness because I know very few of you by face. Names perhaps are familiar, but faces are unfamiliar. And let me clear souls in darkness now. Now, what to speak as a travel writer, or what to speak about travel and the writer? Anyone who travels generally writes anything because he or she wants to exchange his or her ideas with others. That is natural. But travel and the writer, when the writer writes travel stories, it will have another additional dimension. Perhaps it will make it a literary traveler, general traveler, literary traveler, many things. Now today we cannot aspire to be a Marco Polo. And there is no need of it, no need of Marco Polo anymore. We cannot do without Marco Polo, but must say that there is no need of Marco Polo now. Because when Marco Polo made his notes about his travels in Persia or China, the world was unknown, unfamiliar, whole world unfamiliar. So whatever he writes becomes true. Now many things are mythology now, but these went off as true. But anyway, there was a time when there was craze for discovering the world. And even fictitious travel stories came out, like say your Robinson Crusoe, like say your Gulliver's Travels, false travel stories. There is so much of craze for travel stories because the world is unknown, that even false travel stories were to be written, and they became extremely popular, even today. Gulliver's Travels or Robinson Crusoe, very much more popular than many other real travel stories or travelers. Why do we write? There is no need for familiarizing the world to you, because everybody is quite aware of what is going on in every moment of the world because of internet. So in this age of information technology, explosive information technology, is there any need for writing travel story? One may say there is no need at all, it is all nonsense. But then we still write because we feel like extending our ideas. You have gone to a new place, it is familiar to you all. But anyway, I have gone there for the first time, perhaps, or for the second time, and I have many experiences to share. So it may be a sort of gossiping also. It is not a travel story as it was written by Marco Polo, but then it may be a sort of gossiping. But gossiping has also a place if it is literature, if it is real literature. So I think literary importance is all for travel writings today. You cannot apply readers of anything new in the world. So you can simply instill some aesthetic spirit in him, some literary spirit in him, some or I say sort of literary enjoyment and pleasure in your readers. That is my concept. And that way, when I travel for the first time, first Britain and after that America, I named that travel story Daffodil Full Dekisha. Have you seen daffodils? Daffodils. We never see daffodils here. But we read so much about daffodils. Our teachers teach so much about daffodils. And not to speak of students who have not seen daffodils, even teachers have not seen daffodils. So that way, England for me became also a daffodil. And it is the land of Orchard's daffodil. And I went to his grave and I saw the daffodil. And I named that work Daffodil Full Dekisha about England. And after that about America. In America also daffodils are popular, but not as popular as in England. Then after that I wrote the second travel story when I went around Europe. And I called it Lilac Full Fulibor Botor. Lilac Full Fulibor. Time for the lilacs to bloom. You know poet were living by T.S. Eliot. So taking from their clue, and there are many references to lilac in English poetry. So I traveled around Europe, then I ended my tour in England, Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights, and my travel story was called Time for the Lilacs to Bloom. I have no time to tell any anecdote. After that, recently, I once again went to USA, and I went to many parts of USA covering Buddha, coast, and so many things, not new, nothing new. Everything is perhaps a gossiping with my readers, and even that has become, it has come out first in a daily newspaper, it is completed, now it will be coming out as a book. So that is about America, and I have called it Ako America. This time I have named the country, Ako America, America once again. Earlier I did not name any country, because I feel I have no role to play in acquainting my readers with a country. I have a role only to acquaint my readers with my feelings in the country. So my travel stories are only mental travel stories. Mental travel stories. All along, I go on feeling and then sharing my feelings with my readers, That is what is the role of a travel story today. And that is what I want to do when I write a travel story. And I have written out the third travel story.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Maybe we'll just change text if we may. Pierre, would you like to talk next?
Sure. Hi, I'm Pierre. I was a last-minute addition to this panel, given that travel and writing are two of my favorite things in the world. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about empathy. So I don't know if you guys know what empathy means, but it essentially is when you can understand something that someone else is going through. And for me, I think that travel and writing are both the best ways to increase the levels of empathy in the world. So, we all have this singular experience from our perspective as we're navigating our way through life, right? We see things from our own eyes, we experience things from our perspective, but when we read, we're for a second able to experience that from someone else. And so for me, I think that, writing and reading, especially reading, is a great way to cheat the universe and actually experience the life from someone else's perspective. And it's such an enriching experience. In the same way, when you travel, you do a very similar thing. I recently came back from a several month-long trip backpacking my way across southern Africa by myself. And before I embarked on this trip, so many people told me, are you sure you're going alone? You're a female traveler? Are you gonna die or get kidnapped? And the truth was, when I was there, I didn't feel any more in danger than I did elsewhere in the world. Once you get out of the big cities, the locals are so friendly. Everyone was curious about what I was doing and where I was going and why. And I was able to experience life from a completely different perspective and understand the world from their eyes. And so I think, reading, writing, and traveling, these are some of the best ways to go about increasing empathy, which is arguably one of the best ways we can solve a lot of the world's problems today. My writing so far in the past has been young adult literature. It's fantasy adventure. There's elements of conservation, of empathy and the world. But the next book I'm working on is fictional, yet also inspired a lot from my travels around here. And I'm trying to explore themes that you face on the road. Can romances that come from the road, can they last into real life? What is the privilege of traveling? I strap on a backpack and I go off, and people romanticize that life. On Instagram, on social media, we see these beautiful models wearing skimpy bikinis on the beaches, and it's seen as something that's, the new American dream. It's the nouveau dream nowadays. But in certain parts of the world, people strap on a backpack and that's their way of living. They have to trek, miles and miles to get water daily. And for them, the thought of just going off and living off your back, they're like, why would you do that? So I think travel is also such a privilege, and it's something that we should definitely explore.
Thank you very much. Neil, could I?
Hello. Hi, I'm Neil Grant. Thank you for having me at the Brahmaputra Literary Festival. I'm amazed to be here. It's quite an experience. I guess I'm thinking about writing and about travelling and how it relates to my experience. And I guess when I was in my 20s and 30s, when most of my friends were being sensible and buying houses and having children and starting families, I was travelling the world, spending or wasting, some would say, all my money on that. But I always wrote, I kept all my travel diaries, and I couldn't quite work out what that was for. I didn't quite know what I was saving all that stuff for. Until I wrote my first novel published it in 2002, and those are based on my experiences. The second novel was also based on some experience I had. The second novel was based partly in Indonesia, a country I'd never really travelled in. So I took the time to So I took the time to go up there for 2 months and travel around and experience what my protagonist would be going through. And I think it's a really good way. I think what Pia was saying about empathy and placing yourself in someone else's situation is a really important role of a writer, and it's also the important role of a reader. Okay, it's a critical skill. I think we should teach it at school actually somehow. I don't know how. So I guess then every time I had to write another novel, I didn't have to write it. I wanted to write it. I had to do some research, and I'll talk briefly. So as far as anecdotes go, in 2003 I started this novel, The Ink Bridge, and it's based on the asylum seeker debate in Australia, and I don't know if anyone has been following it. It's pretty deplorable the way we're treating the most in-need people in the world, and I felt really strongly about my children growing up in a country that treated people that way. So I decided to write this novel, and it was based on partly on a young Afghan boy who grows up in Bamiyan, where the giant Buddhas were destroyed by the Taliban. And I'd sort of written all this background and stuff by doing research. And then finally, in about 2008, I thought, I've got to go there, I've got to actually put the final piece into place. So I applied for a grant to the government, and to my shock, they gave me the money. I couldn't believe how irresponsible they were. Didn't they know this country was at war? So I went down to my local travel agent who had never booked a ticket to Kabul before, let me tell you, and managed to go through that whole process. And in 2009, in August of 2009, I finally stood in front of the giant Buddha niches in Bamiyan. It was a place I'd been dreaming into being for 6 years, and finally I was there. So it was quite an incredible experience for me. Anecdotally, so there's a quick little story I'm going to tell here. I think also travelling teaches you something about yourself. And what I learned about myself about being in Afghanistan is that I was a little stupid, I think. And I have one story that encapsulates that beautifully. I travelled there with a lady who was running an aid organisation called PASA, and they help probably the most underprivileged and weakest people in Afghan society, the women and the children. Anyway, I went to dinner at her house with her husband and herself. It was like an interview. So she was seeing how idiotic I would be, basically. And as part of this dinner, she said to me, I got bored that Genghis Khan actually sacked in 1221. And Shari Gulbala translates in Dari to the city of screens. So you can imagine what that's all about, right? But it's a very poetic place. So you sit up there and you watch the sunset, you can see what's going, right? And I'm going, just one more photo, and it's getting a little darker, and then I was like, I better go down that. So I walked down, I thought, I'll just take a shortcut. And so I thought, there's a bridge there, I'll go and cross over the bridge, and I did, and I found myself hopelessly lost. So then I finally got home. Hours later, it was completely pitch black. Marnie had gone out to the police to see if I was okay, right? It's a dangerous place in Afghanistan. And she was fine when she came home, and I was so apologetic. She said, it's okay, but in the morning you have to go and see the police chief, okay? He's going to give you a dressing down for what you just did. You just have to take it and be, that's fair enough. Anyway, I turned up in the morning, I speak to Dari, I had a translator with me, Tahi came with me, and I sat in this room full of grey-bearded men, a very stern-looking man, I walk in and this advice at the top of the table, and I sit there like a schoolboy and I hang my head and say, I'm really sorry, it was a stupid thing. I got lost, I'm stupid.
You're like, I'm lost.
Yeah.
Both physically and existentially, sorry.
Totally. So anyway, he was really so nice about it. He said, look, I just want you to be safe. You're in my country. I don't want any harm to come to you. Bamiyan is the safest province in Afghanistan. It's a beautiful country. I want you to have a good time here. Please, when you go out at night again, do not go out alone, and take someone who speaks Dari, okay? Don't travel by yourself. And I thought that was the most beautiful way of dressing someone down I've ever come across.